Her artistic talent has led to collaborations with familiar names like Usher, Pink, and Steph Curry, just to name a few. She's working on a new exciting project, and joining me now is local artist Allison Human. Allison, thank you so much for joining us here on
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, I just am so excited to have you here on the show. Now, first and foremost, before we get into all of the wonderful work that you've done, how did you first get started as an artist?
Oh, I can't remember a moment I wasn't drawing or painting as a kid. But for a long time, I was working as a graphic designer, and I was trying to work my way into painting full-time. But I do remember I did have a job as a graphic designer, an office job, a regular job, and I was laid off over the phone while I was literally painting a mural. Wow. So I remember hanging up my phone and looking at the spray can in my hand, and I was like, well, I guess this is what I'm doing now.
So that's how it started.
So that was about 11 years ago, and I'm still here.
And
still
you
doing
haven't
it today.
looked back since.
I have not looked back, no.
Well, now that you have developed yourself as an artist, like you said, you've been doing art since before you can even remember. What are some of the highlights you would say so far in your artistic career?
Man, I've had a pretty crazy 10 years, but I would say the biggest one right now is something that just came out. I designed the City Edition jerseys for the Golden State Warriors, and
which you actually brought with you today.
Have it. Yeah, I can show you. It's right here. I designed everything from the logo to I hand drew this yellow rose down here. To the line art rose right there, and it's to symbolize empowerment and lifting our women up and holding space for them.
That's absolutely incredible. And when they approached you to be able to do this project, how did that feel? What were some of the thoughts that ran through your head?
It was so casual, the way that they reached out to me. It was so funny. They emailed me at the beginning of last year and just said, how do you feel about designing a uniform for the Warriors? And I remember I had to read over that email like about 5 to 10 times because I couldn't believe it. And I was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do it.
This is something I could probably do.
Yeah, and I was stoked. You know, I've collaborated with them in the past, but it never gets old. I'm a big fan of the Warriors, so every time they hit me up, you know, I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, you're a Bay Area local, born and raised in the Bay Area, so for you to be able to do something that truly is going down in history, what does that mean to you?
I haven't even had time to think about all that. But it is amazing. You know, this is my home team, and I'm really proud. I'm really proud.
That's wonderful. Well, what are some other projects that you, I'm sure, are incredibly proud of that you'd love to share?
Sure. Yeah, I painted Pink's album cover. I think it's called Hurts to Be Human. I'm so sorry if I'm messing that. It's Hurts to Be Human. And I thought that was funny because my moniker is Human.
Yes.
And so it kind of just worked there. I painted Usher's car in his music video, and I've done stuff for Nike and Under Armour and I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff. But I also paint like bodies of work for gallery shows. So every year, every other year, I try to have like an art exhibit. The biggest one, though, that I'm really, truly proud of, which has been more of a passion project for me, was this show called Homebody, and it premiered in Berkeley in January. And it was a 20,000 square foot immersive art experience.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was nuts. And it had 5 different immersive art installations. That was at the intersection of art and technology. So we had projection mapping, we had augmented reality, and then at night we had a concert series where we had people like Guapole and Yuna performing concerts in the space. So it was really, really special to me. And you know, and then I actually brought that to Tampa a few weeks ago, so we're trying to bring it on the road. And that's something that I'm more passionate about. I love doing these collaborations, but I really love when I can just dive into a whole show like that.
Yeah. Well, as an artist and accomplishing so much already in such what seems to be a short career, 10, 11 years, that's so wonderful that you've done a lot of stuff so far. But for you, how have you seen yourself grow as an artist over these past 10 years?
I look at some of the stuff I made 10 years ago, and I'm like, how did anyone even give me a chance?
But I find that hard to believe, Allison.
But you know, I'm just constantly growing. Every day I'm inspired by the things and people around me, and so as I grow, my art continues to grow, and especially with this homebody project, it's my first real foray into immersive installation. And that's something that I really want to continue in the future. Before I was doing just murals and paintings, but now I want to create art that surrounds someone, you know, completely. And I think immersive experiences are really trending up right now. People like to go somewhere and, you know, go see this show where they've got projections all around them. But not too many are focusing on living artists. A lot of them are kind of banking on the work of dead artists. And so I think it's good to, you know, focus on local artists that are creating work right now. And so with the homebody thing, I also want to bring in other artists and kind of give them a platform to do the same.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. So it does seem like you want to help so many other artists out there, but what else do you hope people take away from your art?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, at the very surface, I hope someone looks at my work and is like, I love it. I love the way it looks. Because for me, being visually appealing is huge. You know, I want to create something beautiful. But I hope that people also try to look into the symbolism behind my work. Even with this jersey, there's a lot of symbolism in here. And I can even just go over, the yellow notches are sun rays because we're the Golden State. The way that the black turns into the light gray represents...
Oh, yeah, here on this side, I see.
It represents diversity because we're a spectrum of colors here. And yeah, it's a lot. Like the font was actually inspired by Art Deco, historic landmarks in the Bay. So I was inspired by the signs. And so there's a lot more to what's on the surface, so I hope people can really dig into that.
Well, what's next for you, Allison? I know so many people are probably going to look forward to all of the art that you have coming.
I've got a bunch more collaborations coming up that I can't speak on yet, but I guess you'll find out. Just follow me.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Live in the Bay. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
To learn more about Allison and